What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kendrick, and welcome to another episode of The Pondering. For this one, I'm going to be solo today, and it's kind of just talk about what's going to be happening here in the next couple of days. So, we are expecting our second child to be here on Monday, so it's less than 2 days. And by the time you guys are listening to this, it will be the day of. So, that's when I will release the video and audio of this podcast. So definitely check that out on YouTube, and also do my podcast, either Spotify or Apple, whatever you guys decide. But I came on today just because I couldn't really sleep. I kept thinking about all the things I wanted to talk about. I want to get off my chest. I mean, it's nothing super crazy, but there's enough things that could be said that I could share with you guys. And one of the things that is kind of bothering me, and I won't say bothering, it's more of a worrying, is the fact I am about to have a second child. This child is going to be, it's going to be a her. It's a baby girl, and I'm a little nervous about that because I have a lot of nieces, and I've seen a lot of anyway. So it makes me nervous because I never dealt with anything like this before. With my son, it's super easy. I had a lot of brothers and sisters. Actually, more brothers, and one sister. So it's a total of 5 of us. My mom had 4 boys and 1 girl. So obviously I was always hanging out with, my brothers because we have more in common when it comes to sports, video games, and what we find funny and, we can laugh about. So now that I'm on the opposite spectrum of the gender, it's a little wild because I don't know what to expect. I don't, just like with my sister, I don't know a lot of things that she likes. I've gradually started learning more about her and, connecting on a deeper level with her. As kids, that wasn't happening. So, I mean, I didn't have time. I really didn't care. But I know when it comes to women, girls, they're a little bit more sensitive. And so I got to learn how to, control what I say, control what I do, think about what I have to do 24/7. With my son, we play fight all the time, and I just chunk him on the bed, we just horse around, and we beat up on each other. He comes up to me and just punch me in my face. But it's not like a heavy punch. It's more of like a playful, like, Dad, I wanna play. It's time to go play now. But I know I can't do that with a girl. So I had to take a different approach on how I'm going to handle this. And I will be learning a lot from Kayla because she grew up with all girls. So she understands the sensitive aspect of women and their needs and the things they like to do, I guess, when it comes to cuddling a little bit more. It's going to be a learning curve. And they say, having a girl would change you, and I'm not totally too sure about that as of yet, but we shall see. Because in my head, I'm like, that's not going to happen because I am going to love them or love her the same way I love Jude, and then love Jude the same way I love her. So I'm not sure how much of a difference it's going to be once having a girl, but apparently it's a huge difference. So apparently she's going to be wrapped around my fingers. You're going to start doing things a little differently than what you did with your son, acting wise, the way you discipline, the way you care. And I mean, I know for a certain extent, I know for a fact that's going to happen. Just like when most guys say, or most men who have girls, no, they're not going to date until the age of 30. That's what I'm saying in my heart and in my mind. But at the same time, it's very unrealistic. And I remember I brought something up to Kayla, and she was like, yeah, we're not gonna have that type of mindset. Like, you're gonna treat her the way you're gonna, treat your son. We're not gonna do this. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. I got you. I'll follow your lead on things. I will ask you ways to handle certain situations. So, and I know how guys can be, especially when it comes to the dating scenes. I am a guy, of course. So that's something I'm a little worried about. The first thing that kind of pops in my head is watching Bad Boys 2. And it was this one scene where the dude comes up to the house to pick up the daughter. And obviously that was just, Will Smith and can't remember his name. Martin Lawrence, I believe is his name. And it's how they was just grilling him. It's so funny. So I'm pretty sure I'll be the exact same way. I want you home by 10 o'clock. Nothing later than that. So yeah, that's something that's gonna be new for me, and I'm excited for Monday to come. I'm excited to see what she looks like and hold her in my arms. It's gonna be different for sure. I'll know that my wife was telling me, and a couple of coworkers who have boys and girls, they always say, remember to wipe from, I guess, up to down. Yeah, up and down. I gotta remember to do that, because I know my son, I wipe from bottom to up, because it doesn't really matter, honestly. So there's gonna be a different technique I'll have to do and learn and try to get that muscle memory going. So I think I got that part, hopefully. But on the other scale of things is, I couldn't go to sleep. I was planning on taking a nap today, and it didn't really work out. Kayla and Juice taking a nap as we speak right about now, and I was just thinking of my times in high school and up until now, even in middle school and elementary. Geez, times were tough. I had a conversation with my mom, and Kayla was there. It was actually last week, and it's talking about how much I've matured and how much like confidence that I built over time. So I'll be 31 and next month, so May I'll be 31. And I always find it funny how people say how confident that I am. And I always seem like I'm conceited or whatever it might be, somewhere in those that realm of words. That's what people describe me as today. And I wasn't like that all the time. I'm still kind of not. I just put up a front. So that is me and who I am. And I remember Mom was telling Kayla how I'm so confrontational. I love to talk to people. I get along with everybody. And to my mom's surprise, when I brought up to her, I was like, well, I mean, that is true, because I want to treat people the same way I want to be treated. And the reason I say that is because in elementary school, I used to get made fun of quite a bit. And I told her, I was like, you don't understand, like, Kayla understands who I am now. She understands my love language. And my love language is words of affirmation. And that all stemmed from, my childhood in elementary school to middle school and middle of high school. And I used to get made fun of all the time. It was bad. And that hit home, like, pretty hard. And I remember that saying, they say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Shit. The words hurt me. And I've done better. I am able to cope with it a little bit more. A lot more, actually. I'm not as sensitive as I used to be. But as I told my mom, I was like, I used to get made fun of in high school. I didn't have this confidence that you see me that I have today? And she was like, oh, I didn't know you got made fun of high school all the time. I was like, or middle school, and throughout my grade period. I was like, yeah, all the fucking time. And that set with me to that I brought that with me today as I am as a man. So that's why whenever I speak to anybody, like, I want to make sure I give them my full attention, make them feel like, they are the only person in the world. When I have conversations with them, I smile. I am genuinely interested in everyone's situations or life or hobbies, whatever it might be. Because for me, what I told her, she didn't realize this, was what they used to make fun of me was my nose and how big it was. And just the clothes that I wore, My mom grew up a rough lifestyle, so did my dad. They had me at an early age. She was 16 at the time. She just turned 16. And 2 months later, so she was 15, turned 16, 2 months later, I was born. And times were tough. We didn't have a lot of money, so dealing with 5 kids, trying to share clothes and buy new clothes, that wasn't really happening. So obviously we're going to pay less, hand-me-downs, wearing white t-shirts that looks kind of yellow, got a little bit of stains on it, going to school. Yeah, I was definitely getting made fun of. And so that kind of brought up my insecurities, and yeah, definitely did not like grade school whatsoever. But as I started to mature, kind of grew into my face, things started to work out a little bit better, which I am very, very happy about. And yeah, but again, those insecurities are still there. Some things I like to do is kind of step out of my comfort zone when it comes to eye contact. That was a big one growing up. Just to work on myself. I guess I kind of give you a backstory of I can't make eye contact. I mean, just me looking to this camera sometimes, I'm kind of looking away, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking about what I am trying to say next. But growing up, my parents were kind of strict, and I was a very smart person, a smart child for my age. And a lot of the times, I'm all about the way you word things. Again, I listen to your words very, very clearly, so I could find little cracks in there to kind of fit through when it comes to your statements of what you're trying to say. So my parents knew that. They knew that about me. So even in grade school, they asked me a question, I answered a certain way. And then when things just didn't go my way, they're like, oh, you're lying. Oh, you just always constantly lying. I'm like, no, I'm not lying. I'm just answering it the way that you asked. If you asked me the correct way, I would answer in that way. And one of the things I actually had trouble with, because of how I answered things, was my eye contact with my parents whenever they drill me with questions and stuff like that, because I'm constantly always thinking. And so usually when people think, when they or ask a question, they kind of look up to the left or look up to the right, whatever you decide. But I think mine was pretty much to the left all the time. I think that's for most people. And I can never make eye contact when answering these questions, so they assumed that I was lying. And that was something that kind of always happened as I grew up. And I'm like, I swear, like, I'm not lying to you. And they're like, no, 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 no. So obviously I get in trouble and stuff like that. But that kind of grew up with my mentality of trying to keep eye contact with individuals. And I had a coworker one time ask me, I hate how you keep eye contact with me. Like, it kind of seems like you're looking into my soul. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. My bad. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to, acknowledge that I am listening to you and talking to you. And she was like, no, it's not anything bad. It kind of, well, I can't find the word she said. It kind of, anyway, I can't remember. It kind of makes them feel like I'm judging them. And I'm like, no, I'm not judging you. I'm just practicing, making eye contact with you, of whoever I'm speaking to. I'm just trying to bring out the insecurity parts about me that happened to me in my lifetime. And then whenever I explained that to her, she was like, "Oh, that kind of makes sense." Well, and she was like, "Oh, that's kind of awesome how you're kind of tackling your insecurities." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, the whole point as we get older is to learn from our mistakes, to grow, self improve, which is the whole point of this podcast." And so I work on little things every single day to continuously improve on my crafts, on myself as a human being, and that's what makes life exciting and worth waking up to, is constantly improving, learning new things, enjoying new experiences. So yeah, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to share with y'all today was some of the insecurities that I had, some of the worries that I'm currently having, and yeah, so I hope this small episode, small length podcast could help someone out there as well. But yeah, what else is worrying me today? Well, I have. Well, again, my child has been born in 2 days. If she does not come sooner, Kayla's scheduled for a C-section. I have this project I have to finish up that I do by Easter on Sunday. Who does that? Who makes something due on Easter? It's rude. Very, very rude. And what else? I have a quiz. Yeah, fine. But I think everything's going to be done today. I'm going to finish it up. But I am very proud of myself of how far I accomplished of dealing, with school, handling my finances, handling my family, dealing with the newborn that is coming along, working like crazy just to make sure we got the roof over our heads. And thank God for coffee, because without that, I don't know where I would be at. I'd be crazy. I probably would be yelling all the time. I don't know, but thank God for coffee. But yeah, those are the little worries that I got going on, the little insecurities. And yeah, and that's pretty much it, guys. I just want to thank every last one of you guys for checking out my podcast and watching it and giving me great feedback, because this is something I really do enjoy. I do have a goal in life, is maybe I could retire and just do podcasts all day, get in the media world, more YouTube videos. That is the ultimate goal, and just kind of just be my own entrepreneur and make sure I have a roof over my, family's, head. So again, that's the goal. I found some nice accomplishment when it comes to that, of me trying to go out there with my goals. I met some awesome, cool people, and it seems like positivity is coming my way. The universe is kind of looking out for me, and it's working. I'm very pleased. So I got to continue to make sure I strive to get what I want, even during the hard times of what's about to happen here. Sleepless nights. I just bought some more coffee and some more creamer, and things about to get crazy. So until next time, guys, I'll catch y'all later, and keep pondering.